So hey, Soger. So I played a Russia game, and generally I struggle to get under 200 for a science specifically.
Yeah.
And this time, I'm playing
Well,
with
like I always
Mo.
tell you, a no mode science victory under 200 is actually pretty hard. Once you add game modes, it's pretty easy though, so you shouldn't be feeling bad if you can't no mode sub 200.
Right, but this one is with modes. So,
Oh, okay.
mon-
Well, yeah, if you're
as
only
the-
running secret societies, that doesn't do too much. I mean,
and
it's pretty
Monopoly.
Oh, so you also have the strongest game mode possible on. Okay, well let's see what you got going on here.
All right. So this is the very start. Before I
Okay.
even settle,
So
it
you had a
is
wonder.
right next to the wonder, so you get
That's a
astrology
good
boosted.
wonder too. Oh my god, that's a good wonder. That and you didn't
It's
settle turn one?
I did not. I moved
Why didn't you
all.
settle turn one?
I
Where did you
I
did you
I
s-
th-
did,
I
where did you
thought
settle?
here's what I thought. Here's what I thought.
Explain.
I thought there's no food here,
There's
and
that
I
spice style that has 3 food.
yeah. But beyond that, like where am I
Why
getting
do you need
food
more than that?
to grow my capital? My capital is going to be like big and strong, you know. So I mean, we're playing
You'll get
science.
there.
I don't know. So
But anyways, continue.
I decided to go south all
Yeah.
the way to. I actually moved twice because then I
Okay,
thought,
I want to point one thing out right now.
yeah,
So you've moved, correct?
yeah,
If you settle right here, you have a spice tile next to your capital, right?
yeah,
And what's in the third ring of your capital? Another spice tile.
right.
So when you tell me you don't have food, you have enough food. You only
But
need to get to two
beyond that,
You only
beyond
need to
that,
get to 2 population to get your first settler. After that, you get a trade route in your capital. By the time you need to generate a lot of population, you can buy out that spice tile. More than likely, if you would have settled in place, you would have went down to the tobacco tile. You would have unlocked that, and then you would eventually unlocked probably towards the wonder and then towards the spice. So by the third tile is unlocked, you'd be able to buy the spice tile pretty easy.
mm, yeah, I guess that would save me a bunch of turns.
Yeah, that would save you.
Because
Yeah.
I settled on turn 3. I moved even further.
Okay, well,
Uh,
what's further?
what's further? Well, let's
Yeah,
load like I don't know.
I want to
Here.
see, like, load your turn. Yeah, like,
Here's turn 10.
because
Um,
I think you're being too picky there. Like, I get your thought that you're not going to grow fast enough, but that would have been decently strong. I
yeah,
mean,
but
it depends on what
I'll
your
be
turn.
stuck, dude. I'll be stuck. Listen, you get the settler
From the
out,
first
right?
stirrings
Like
of
you're
Yep.
life
saying,
beneath water,
but I also need to
to
build
grow
districts.
beasts
Like
of
one
Yes.
district is not enough, right?
to
So
man
Correct.
taking his
to
No,
grow that
I'm
city,
agreed.
even with 2
You have
spice
come far.
tiles, would be like
Now begins your
slow.
greatest quest.
No, it
Um,
wouldn't.
I thought I
this
needed
early
some
cradle of
greens, some
civilization
grasslands.
on to
It would
Um,
help, but you have to remember, you're
Embrace the
Russia.
chill winds of the
Um,
motherland.
well, exactly. Growth
Well,
is
but
a
that's what I'm saying.
challenge.
You're Russia, so like part of the challenge is sometimes you have lower food starts, which means your first trade route is going to have to go out of the capital, and then later cities, you're going to want to make sure that you. Oh, all right.
And chops, right? I settle
Yeah,
here. What do I have? I have a deer. Well, I guess I have a couple of chops there.
you have a couple
But I don't
chops
want to
there.
kill
Yeah, and
spices.
look at that. If you would have settled in place, one,
But
2, 3.
now, look
There's
at
a sheep
this.
tile in your third ring.
But look at all these chops then. I have some, some opportunity here.
Hold on,
Anyway,
well, let me see something. Let
Yeah.
me just see something. So you're saying chops, right?
mhm.
Initial settle has the deer tile, the spice tile, the tree next to it, that's 3. Has the woods next to the wonder, that's 4. Your current city right now has the spice tile, the 2 trees by the wonder. So you get one more chop.
Well, no, I still get the deer.
Oh, I did. I forgot about the deer. So you get 2 more chops.
Yeah, 2 more chops is decent. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, I'll give.
I
you
don't know
that.
if it's worth a whole turn lost.
See, I was gonna say I can see, yeah, I can see settling turn 2, moving to the south closer to the spice tile. But the second I would have seen that, I would have settled right there probably. I
So, I mean, you know, I got the secret societies, obviously went with a money because I
Yep.
got the culture city state right here.
Oh, and you got
Um,
culture early.
yeah. Well, I
Did you
mean,
get first discovery of Samarkand?
no,
Oh, that's rough.
no. So, I mean, I'm exploring now.
Yep.
I got my first scout out, and it's in the dead end kind of area. That sucked.
Okay, I got a question for you
Uh,
right now.
well,
With what you could see when you sent your warrior out, why did you go to the right and up into the tundra?
with the scout,
Yeah,
um, I wasn't sure if I can get through.
that would have been that. Like
I
you
thought
send
I
you,
can get through the
yeah.
tundra, open it up because freaking barbs, and then
I
go
would have sent
south this way. You know?
Yeah, I would have sent my first scout to the south and to the right because you know you can get that scout out there,
Yeah,
and go the opposite way of the
yeah,
warrior because the earlier the scout gets out, the further it's going to go. The second scout, you go exploring. Let's say you start fine tuning. If you do a third scout, you can send them wherever you want. But that first scout
yeah,
with that mountain range right there that you could see a decent amount of, I wouldn't. That's a bad gamble. You're risking for nothing, if that
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what's happening because I'm gonna backtrack the scout and go through the range, like you said, south,
Yeah, and
southeast.
yeah, and it doesn't seem like much, but you have to remember every single turn stuff is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So city state open borders are closing, so you're losing pathways. So
Mm-hmm.
and also let's say somebody is exactly 37 turns away. Uh if you don't move exactly 37 turns towards them, you're not going to meet them in the ancient era. So like it's a small gripe or a small thing to point out, but your first scout, don't gamble on it. Send it a direction that you're pretty sure is wide open. If there's like a lot of mountains, that's a second or third scout, or even the warrior, because the scout will go faster.
Gotcha.
Sorry,
Well,
I don't
yeah,
mean
no,
to
no,
jump
that
in
no,
and
that
just.
makes total sense, dude. It makes total sense. Exploration, it's like, you know, basic foundational tips, basically,
Yeah,
right? Like,
I mean, yeah,
let's um, let's jump into like 30.
yeah,
See, turn 30, and I think this is where barbs come out because it's Russia,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's
There's
Russia.
plenty of tundra there. I think I had like three camps attacking, and that's like that's the challenge, right? Like that slows me down quite a
Well,
bit
and
Feel the
I
at
say it
ease
first.
all
of
the
life
time. With
beneath water.
Russia, you
The
have to
great
you have to expect there's going to be barbarians, not because tundra spawns more barbarians, but you're the only one who's going to deal with them because they're going to be spawning in directions that there's no other civilization.
Mm,
So yeah, with
hmm.
Russia, just that's a reality.
Yeah. So it's a struggle number one, and then the way that
Uh sorry to interrupt. What did you spend your first gold on? Where did you, when you started getting some gold, what was the first thing you, okay, I'm already disappointed.
what the fuck? Why? Why are you
Okay,
disappointed?
what
I
should you
still
have,
have I still have 248.
how
I
much would it
wanted to
cost?
make friends with Ethiopia because they were like right there.
Okay, but my question is,
Yeah.
uh, how much gold would the city state army be right next to you?
This one?
Yep.
Yeah, 160. But they're over here, right?
Okay,
So
but
I was
how long have you had? How many times have you had over 200 gold at this point?
yeah, I mean it's turned 30. I'm just starting to meet other civs like I just
But
met.
that's what I'm saying is if you'd have levied the city state army, that does the work of like two scouts. Even if you haven't met anyone, even if you know you don't need them, this goes back into the Russia thing. If you have a city state really close, levy the army, use them to explore, keep two of them back by your capital,
Uh-huh.
have them explore the tundra.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess I was like, okay, I don't want to live in this city state because it's too close. And I was like thinking if I can get another city state to Sioux, then I can levy them. But as you can
Yeah,
see,
it's
this is happening with the
yeah,
zero.
and that I actually do like your thinking there because obviously the Amani city state shuffle is actually really good for exploration, just moving it from city state to city state. But when you find Ethiopia super close, and if you go to the south again just a little bit, when Samarkand, you didn't get first discovery on that. That would have been tipping off to me. I'm probably not going to get any more first discoveries.
Mm-hmm.
At least not to the south.
Mm.
You get
Well,
what I'm
because yeah,
saying?
because we're like in the corner here, so that
Because
means
you probably found them before turn 10, which means there's somebody closer to them than
oh
you.
yeah,
Uh,
right there,
so
Georgia.
then you then you know Amani's not leaving the culture city state, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you know she's not leaving, you levy it because you know you're not going to find it. Now, like I said, I might have delayed levying it a little bit, but the second Samarkand wasn't a first discovery. This is back into you send the scout where you know it's going to make it. Okay, if somebody this close wasn't first discovery, that means 2 out of the 3 directions I can go, I'm probably not going to get any more first discoveries.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, it's another exploration faux pas.
Yeah,
That's interesting. That's valuable.
yeah.
Um, and
Because you have to remember, they're not going to be directly south of you. I mean, they could be, but they're going to be like southwest or southeast,
yeah,
which means they're getting all the people to the east and south of you, or all the people to the west and south of you before you. That's the other thing with Russia is you're usually the furthest north or south.
that's right.
Sorry, I feel like this whole thing is going to just be me critiquing your
No,
exploration.
no, no. But that's good though, because it's such a
Yeah.
crucial part of the game, and that's what sets you up for like a slow start
Yeah,
or a robust start, right? Like if you
yeah.
can explore and read the map correctly.
But I do like what you're doing. Just looking at your mini map here, I do like. I don't know if you just naturally did this or if you've heard me say it a lot. I can tell you're warrior. You just said I'm going south with him, and that's just what you did, which is the right move. You just picked a direction. It looks like, and you took the best path going that direction. Is that sort of what your thought was there?
Yeah, I remember you saying traverse all the way in this sort of a straight line until you reach the end of the map, the end of the land,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. It like
So that's
as
what I'm
like.
trying to do, and like you check who they met, and
Yep.
so this guy still has somebody, so that's why I'm planning to keep going.
Exactly, and you sort of use that as echolocation.
Hmm.
And seeing as Brazil is to his left, if Brazil hasn't met somebody, there's a higher likelihood you have to go to the right. Just using simple like it's
Yeah,
like playing
and,
Minesweeper more or less.
yeah, and here you can tell there's a coastline. This is
Yep.
Pangaea, so this is the edge of the map. Probably,
Hmm.
there isn't much here, so I'm trying to get through to the west, go straight with this scout, and try to get through the mountains here with this
Yeah,
scout.
that's good. You
Yeah,
recovered very, very well.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm just trying. Anyway,
but no, that
but this is the development. I have two cities.
yep.
I had to settle this guy because of the barbs. Like I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
move him any further. Which I wonder if you would settle. Where would you settle your second city? This is my question.
Assuming I settled where you settled your first city.
Yes, yes, yes.
With the assumption that I settled where you settled, um, let, let me think. How would I have?
Yeah.
Well, because I don't want to. I don't want to give myself more map knowledge. I'm trying to think how much you would have explored.
Oh no, I had pretty decent map opened up here.
Okay.
I just
With the
couldn't
speed.
travel any further. That's the problem because the
Honestly,
horsemen barbarians came out.
I probably would have probably gone right where you were going, towards that tobacco tile. Maybe
Mm,
settled on the floodplain, depending on
mm,
how.
Yeah.
depending on how I was feeling. But I'd want to be able to get my holy site up to the left of where your holy site is, right there. Yep. So depending on how I felt about it, probably floodplains or the
Mhm.
tobacco there.
Yeah. Yeah.
More than likely, knowing myself, seeing as culture to plantations wouldn't have been an option. I would have settled the tobacco because I'd want the money. I would just look at that and be like, well, I don't have a luxury, so I need to get a luxury.
Yeah, because I'm thinking this is a monopolies game, right?
Yep,
So I'm thinking industries. I have two spices and I have two tobacco
yep,
uh, resources close by. But tobacco is like I don't know, it's military units production or something.
yeah.
But I
See,
have more spices here, so I'm like, what is my third city?
and,
Do I
and I just want.
go and settle edge of tundra again, or should I go and get to the spices before like Ethiopia moves in here? Because there are more spices. See this area here?
Yeah,
It's so rich.
but you don't need the monopoly. I mean, you want the land. I'm not debating
The
that, but you don't.
industry, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
no, the monopoly.
Well, I'm
Because you're
saying
you're
like
trying to.
you can put some
Oh, you
massive
can make
cities
some
here.
massive cities there. Yeah. No, but I just want to point one thing out.
Mm,
If you go back up to where your capital is, and this is where you set yourself up for failure. So by moving further than you had to,
mm.
uh, that T tile is no longer a settled location. If you would have moved down to the second spice tile, just to the right of where your capital is,
Right
one
here.
tile right there. Yep. You could have then settled on that T, moving your
Oh, wait a
capital.
second. No,
But
Soger, I can't settle on the T.
why?
Because look,
Oh, it's too close to the
it's
city
too
state.
close. It's not three tiles here. So I
Oh,
would have to be. It's really tight. I
yeah, I
can't settle
miscounted.
anywhere here. This would have been a good move though, ideally. See, this is a case where you're like, all right, I have this culture city state,
Yeah.
but I should have conquered it. I feel like,
No, never. Oh my
no,
God, are you kidding me? That's a very very strong city state. You will never ever
this
in a
one.
million years. Yeah, you will never produce more yields than the existence of that city state. Look at its bonus.
So it's saying that I would get culture for great people earned
Correct.
even when I wasn't a suzerain.
Yes, it's a weaker version of Pericles' leader ability.
Damn.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, shit.
So
Well,
there
I
is
know you have
no.
your city state tier video out, and I haven't watched the culture ones yet, so
Yeah, no,
I
that's
probably should.
early game, and that one is A tier. And it should, like, if it wasn't for the fact it takes a while for great people to start coming out, then it would be like S tier. But once you start getting your great people, that's a decent city
Mm,
state. That's
yeah.
that's
And with
that is
Russia,
putting up some numbers.
and with Russia, you have a boost of great writers.
Yeah. So when you're
Man,
building all those shrines and getting those great writers that you can't do anything with,
mm.
guess what? They're still providing you yields. Then why
Why
did you settle
settle
early?
early?
Yeah.
Because there were horsemen. There were like four horsemen coming out.
Okay.
These guys are okay, but there were like way more of them.
Okay.
City State, Antananarivo had like a couple of warriors here, and they fought them off. I had the heavy chariot from the asteroid, whatever.
Yep.
So I got lucky with that. Um, so the game sometimes gives you a favor or two.
Yep.
But yeah, no, the barbs are just it's tough.
And I'm not trying to like
Yeah,
put
yeah, yeah. Go
another
ahead.
put more
Go ahead.
salt into the
Yeah,
wound.
yeah, yeah.
But once again, that's why the early levy on
Mhm.
Antipavaro would have been super helpful because you would have had all those troops already, going all the directions.
I was
And
just sitting there thinking, should I save the freaking gold for to improve tiles and boost craftsmanship? Because I don't know. Or should I save it until a next settler instead of Levin? But yeah, the immediate threat here and the problem. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just
And
when I saw them hanging out on the other side of the freaking
well,
mountain
and
ridge,
at this
it'll take
point,
them forever to get
yeah, and at this point, it's too late.
yeah,
But that's why I'm saying. But that's
earlier.
why oh, like every time I do it, when I levy a city state, like it's usually they're not. I don't even really care where the city state troops are located. The bigger thing is for 200 to 240 gold, you're going to get a lot of exploration. You're going to get a lot of opportunity to deal with situations that might occur. And if you declare war on somebody, you have units that you don't care if they live or die because in 30 turns they're not yours. So you can send them on suicide rushes to pillage campuses, and you don't really have to worry about them surviving.
Yeah.
So, like, you can play conservative with them, or you can just go, yeah, he's going to die, but I'll get more science, I'll get more faith.
Yeah, it all stems from the thought or, insight that I'm not gonna get any more first
Yeah.
envoys. Because I was kind of like, it totally escaped me that I'm probably going to be sitting on one city state for a while. And yeah, I should have.
And, and my next question is,
Hmm.
how am I trying to say this? Were you
Be
worried about
gentle.
yeah, no, were you worried about getting a golden age?
No, no, because I mean, it's. I wasn't because
Yeah.
it was going really
So
well and fast. I
that's
guess.
another thing. Like,
Mm,
and I've moved away. Like, I still like the idea, but on a Russia Wonder start where you know things are going to go pretty well, I would have probably doubled down on my good fortune and levied those troops
yeah,
and just accepted that Amani got locked in there. Like, I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like I'm going to
yeah. I
go
get your
back to
point.
this a lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
but this is one of those things you like. The early turns are so vital that you
Mm-hmm.
have to be thinking through your moves. And the number one thing that you need is map knowledge. What's going to get you the most exploration in the fewest number of turns, and what's going to give you the most opportunities to deal with the situations that will occur on those turns. And that's why you'll see, I would say 75% of my games, I'm levying somebody in the ancient era.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know that. I know that.
Like, that's
Um,
like, if
that's
that
a
opportunity
huge.
presents itself, it's
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's and I constantly look for those opportunities, but they obviously in this game it's it's not. You know,
well, I mean, you were presented with
that's why I'm getting slingers out. Well, fight the barbs, but also like I can train an archer. I'm like, all right, I'm already thinking like, where the frick is Caguana? It's somewhere here. So I don't know.
and
Maybe.
also this is another important thing. Let me pull up your city state list again.
Mm,
So you got train and archer, you've got train and archer, and you got
two.
recruit a great writer, right?
Yeah.
And then in the city state where your diplomat is, that you have train a spearman,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
So when you're getting these city state quests, another thing that you want to be like actively thinking about is, can I complete this? And if the answer is yes, can I control if I complete this? Like train a spearman, you just have to get to bronze working and then buy a spearman. So even if you might be putting your diplomat in there and locking her in, and then you find a better spot for her, mysticism exists where you get an envoy
Hmm.
and you can control when you get the spearman. If you absolutely have to get your envoy somewhere else, you can force bronze working and get a spearman.
Hmm.
So she won't be trapped.
Hmm.
But that on the adverse, like let's say like you were saying about Kaguna, I can't say that without practicing first. Uh, so,
Caguana? I don't know.
there we go.
Iguana.
My vocal cords don't work that way. But like you're saying, you're getting those slingers out. Where are you on the archery
Yeah.
tech? Have you even started it yet?
Well, I got the animal husbandry,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm waiting to boost it. So I'm hoping
So
I can
so
get.
why don't you work on animal husbandry? Or not? Why aren't you working on archery? so that
Yeah.
when you kill your first barbarian, you unlock it that turn, and when it looks like you're going to get that archery eureka, you can move a mani earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
like like
Like
uh,
think. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get
no
it. Use
whatever
your brain.
no
Kaine. Yeah, I get it.
whatever your plan is, and this is important,
What
whatever
plan?
your plan is, make sure that you're following it, because okay, you left Amani in there, but you want to move her, but in order to move her you need an envoy.
Yeah, well,
You
I don't
have the
think that was my thought pattern at the time.
Mhm.
So if it was, you already formulated a whole plan in your head and you vocalized it for us. But like, I didn't have it. I was just focused on this immediately. I don't think I even opened the city state quests.
Oh, no, the quests, you got to be like when you meet a city state, you got to see that quest,
Yeah,
especially if you're going to Mani first, because you want to know which quests you can control
right,
and which
right,
ones
right,
are pretty much out of your hands.
right, right. Well,
Because Samarkand, they're pointless. They're a weak city state first off, and you can't complete that quest. I mean, realistically, depending on where they are, you could declare war on them. Well, actually, you're Russia. Keep the Great White Rider quest. That's a good one. You'll get that pretty early. But if you are a different civilization, you can even declare war on them just to get a different quest next era, because that quest is terrible.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but these quests, right? They're pretty.
Are solid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The best thing about like train an archer or buy a spearman is save all those quests. Don't just complete them willy-nilly. And then you can do all of your easy quests on the same turn when you put in the double envoy card. So you know, so that way you don't have to spend multiple turns not getting the 2 influence points, because you want to get 2 envoys, not 1.
Oh, you're
So
saying wait for the policy card.
correct. But
Oh,
so now that like at that point you're already working on early empire and all that.
mhm.
So what I would say is you're definitely not moving to Mani now, because you're closer to the 2 envoy card than not, in my opinion. So make sure you're getting the most value out of those quests that you
Well,
can
see,
control.
the way I was thinking about it, I'm not earning great people just yet. So
Yeah.
Antananarivo is not crucial right now, at least in the first like 50 whatever turns.
Yep.
So
No, I fully agree.
however,
Oh,
I did leave her here. So this is turn 65.
okay.
Couple of more
Like,
cities.
what I'm gonna say is gonna be
Yeah.
like you're not gonna believe me,
Yeah.
but I think you're doing all right given the circumstances that you ran into. Like this actually, um, it could be better. I'm not saying that, but I actually was expecting much worse. You recovered, pretty decently actually for having as many barbarian camps as you did.
Yeah, it's working out because city states are getting involved, and
Mhm.
whatnot. It's just now I have another one right here.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
insane, and that's why I have like 5 archers here already because it's ridiculous. And I did live it the units eventually,
Yeah.
but just to fight the barbs. But
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
but yeah, like you can see, so five cities and the 6th one with the settler. So it's
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
moving.
you're not doing bad. What's your religion?
The same
Uh,
work ethic and religious colonization, just to make it easier.
See,
I mean, colonization because I thought I'm still gonna colonize tundra here,
yeah,
and I'm
but
gonna.
what? Here's what I'm gonna say.
What? Wait, because listen, the world church with these. Look at the city's population. Look,
Yeah.
there's what 2 followers, 1 follower. You know what I mean? Like it just. I thought it would take me forever to grow these cities because I'm just like buying settlers right now, and expanding.
Okay, but
So
you have a 16 culture per turn, right?
mhm.
So wouldn't even like one more culture be like a noticeable increase?
Where would I get it? If I went World Church right now and they have what did they say? Four. Where are they?
Each follower is worth point two five. It's you don't need exactly four. Each one will give you 0.25.
So listen, two. So I would get what, four culture then? No,
You got 10 followers, you'd be getting two and a half
two and a
more
half,
culture.
2.5 culture. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not breaking. Yeah, I see your point. I see
No,
your point.
religious colonization is good if you're going to fire off
I
like
didn't,
a ton of cities.
and
Or
this is what's happening. I wouldn't want to spend my faith on missionaries to convert my cities to make sure they get work ethic. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that's why I figure colonization with Russia seems to make most sense because cities grow slower, and you are doing your work ethic in with Dance of Aurora. So it's like I
But
don't
what
know.
you only need one missionary to convert three cities. If you convert it on the turn it's settled, it has one
I mean, I
population.
can't even build missionaries right now. So
Well,
so
obviously.
turn 65.
But I want to make I want to make a counterpoint to your point. When you said because you're Russia that you thought religious colonization made more sense. I actually do get your thinking there, but you're making 60 faith per turn, let's say, right?
Mhm.
One missionary is 150 faith. So I actually think religious colonization makes more sense if you have a low faith generating sev. If you like, if you got a situation where you got like 19 faith per turn going into the classical era, but when
Mhm.
you had significantly more, that one missionary is nothing. You don't need to save the faith because you're generating so much more. That's actually the trade-off. That's one of the things that makes Russia a lot stronger is that you can actually waste a bit of your faith in the early game and still outsettle most people with monumentality.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess my thought.
What are your
I
governors?
I see your point. My
Yeah.
thought
What are your
was,
governors?
I feel like I just have Bengala here.
Why do you have Pingala? What is he providing you right now? Like, pull up your governor titles. But no, that Pingala is not helping you,
No,
especially in
it's not.
yeah. It would actually be helping you if you had went World Church and you were getting a little bit more culture.
For sure.
But
For sure.
you know, it wasn't. But like no, what I would say like is like you're doing things good. You're hard building hanging gardens.
Hell yeah.
No,
Because I want my cities, my tundra cities will be growing faster.
I actually have no problem with you building it. I'm saying don't hard build it. You've got chops,
I don't
chop it
have
out.
I don't have enough resources to buy builders. I'm focusing on settlers. So I'm trying. I have this builder like improving stuff. I don't want to, and I don't want to chop without Magnus.
Okay,
Uh,
question.
hmm,
What has Moscow built already?
a monument.
Oh,
A shrine
Moscow.
and the granary. Yeah, there's plenty of
All right,
stuff.
so
It's
Moscow's doing
growing.
well.
It's growing.
Yeah. And here's what I'm going to say. I
Hmm.
don't like the hard building the wonder
I,
because you can lose it. That's why I
uh,
chop wonders because it minimizes the
uh,
risk. That
yeah.
is actually my problem with it. Not that you're building hanging gardens, but this is why I don't like per turn
Mm,
production very much into wonders
good point.
is every single turn you're building it, you could be losing a fifth of that turn.
Good point.
So
Good
if
point.
you're not going to chop it, spend 6 turns to build the builder, then start production on it because those chops will. I mean,
Yeah, I screwed up by not getting Magnus instead of Pingala. Because if I had
yeah.
Magnus, this would be a no-brainer, you know. But yeah, yeah, that was another
And
screw up.
the other
Hmm.
thing is,
Hmm.
I get your I don't want to chop without Magnus. In the capital, when you're trying to do Apadana, I fully get it. I do. In Moscow, where you have two chops,
There are more
well,
chops.
two chops. The chop on the top is for the capital, so okay, three chops.
These ones.
Yeah, but the top one the capital can reach it, so it's for the capital.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so I guess it has three chops, but in Moscow where you have three chops, it's not. It's not even worth moving Magnus there.
Mm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if there's a better city because it's three chops.
Four.
Like
Four chops.
the early wonders are just so competitive. I
Yeah.
would have been happier building the builder and losing hanging gardens. Yeah, I like that oracle. That's very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
You hard built it, right?
I did.
But see, like, and here's my other problem.
Well,
Here's
because
my
the
other
production is like 23 productions, so it's like it's
yeah.
not.
But here's my other problem with that.
Mm.
Like, you're investing too many turns into it. Because what is your capital
Hmm.
built?
Same stuff, probably granary and shrine.
Okay, but you could have fired off some builders. You could have fired off a settler or two. Um,
Like
uh,
build a settler.
yeah, or build a
Yeah.
builder.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you like, because you're telling me right now that you don't have enough builders to chop out stuff. Um, Instead of locking your city into X amount of turns, address the closest problem as soon as possible.
Hmm.
Your problem is I don't have builders. If I invest 20 turns into Oracle, I might get 5 turns of production back.
I see a point.
Yeah, I mean it's
But
small things, but it's one of those things that kills your forward momentum
yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's the same idea as levying the troops right away. Yeah, if you meet a civilization next turn and you could get 120 more gold, you could have got a settler. You lost out on that
Mm-hmm.
opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
but you're also gaining the ability to deal with other things. There's always going to be more uses for your gold and your production and all that. But you'll hear me say it in all my games. I have to buy this right now because if I don't do it right now, I won't have the gold later. So I'll buy something I know is important at the beginning of the turn because any problem, anything that I can solve during the turn, I'm definitely going to solve, big or small. If there's a solution for it, I'm just going to solve it because it's one less problem. You're saying, oh, I'm hard building this wonder because I don't have builders. The builder's the easier problem to solve, and who knows, maybe you find 3 iron tiles,
Yeah, but
when
it's
you
like
get bronze working.
it's a cascading type of problem we have here because I don't have builders because I'm spending resources on settlers, which is a higher priority. So I'm like,
Correct.
I mean, I guess I could be. Yeah, I don't know. This is that's it's a
But
tough.
you could be hard building builders and then buying settlers.
But then, yeah, I guess I could be missing out on wonders though. I didn't want to
Yeah.
miss out on Oracle, for example. I feel like it's huge.
I
Um,
would have been better off missing out on Oracle than Apadana.
really,
Yeah.
I think I missed out on Apadana.
Oh.
I think I don't remember.
I mean Oracle's great, like it is, but
Yeah.
like envoys.
Well, so you're looking at this map. Here are
Yep.
your neighbors, right?
What
What?
happened to your exploration going to the left?
No, we went pretty far. We went all the way to the edge of the
Did your
map.
other scout die?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
that's fine. I just I
He
thought
didn't.
that you'd
He
have
didn't.
more.
No, he didn't survive.
No,
There were barbs there.
that's understandable. You
Same thing with the warrior.
oh
He got
that sucks.
murdered.
Yeah, that I don't like that. Because yeah, there's no worse feeling than when your unit that's like the furthest out gets surrounded because that's so many turns lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Well, I mean, at this point, I'm like, all right, I'm pretty much done with the barbs, so I'm going to move a money.
Yep.
And the only city that I have now is Cardiff. I still haven't trained the spearman, as you can see, but I did get my archer boosts.
But this is
Envoys.
where I'm saying I would have been much more inclined to get Apadana because, like, those two envoys would have got you Cardiff already,
Mhm,
would have got you
mhm.
Ashan, would have gotten Kabul, would have gotten Grenada. Of all those, I probably would have got Kabul. Get your units up faster.
Yeah, because I have diplomatic league already, so they could be. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, up and down. Shit, I should have been building it instead of a shrine.
yeah, I mean, because it's 16 turns. I mean, once again, this is going against what I said, but I mean, if you're gonna invest the hard build,
Well,
like
I'm
or
building a shrine because I want to boost my faith so that I can buy more. Get make use of monumentality and buy more settlers. That's what I'm
yes,
trying to do. So it's like
what's your settler cost right now?
320 faith.
And your builder is 95.
Mm-hmm. Pretty cheap.
Yeah, you could be buying a builder every 2 turns.
Well, yeah, but it's just like, and what, chopping stuff out, I guess.
Yeah, because pull up your city state list again.
I mean, a lot of them are at 3, have no suzerain.
Yeah, I mean, and this is I get wanting to get the cities out. Um, like you're not wrong, but I also can't say that you're necessarily right. Um,
You're saying it's not the most efficient path.
well, what I'm this is the thing. It's hard for me to look. It's hard for me to look
Yeah, of
outside
course.
looking in,
Of course.
because it's very easy for me to say, well, in a complete vacuum of no responsibility to the outcome of these decisions, this is what I would have done. But, okay, so you want to get wonders, right?
Right.
Every turn that passes is an opportunity for the wonder to disappear, right?
Correct.
So the problem that you've identified is you want to get the wonders. So solve that problem. How do you solve that problem? Not by getting settlers, by getting builders. Now, the faster you get those builders out, the faster you get the wonders. Now, as you get the wonders, you're going to get envoys because you're going to do Apadana. So if you get Apadana, you get Oracle, there's 4 envoys, there's a bunch of city-states, which is going to give you access to their luxuries and any strategic resources they have access to, which will increase your money. At this point, you can then trade your money for builders and your faith for settlers.
Mm-hmm.
So you would probably wind up with more cities. You'd probably wind up with more cities eventually, not immediately, but in a shorter period of time, if you had stuck with your plan. The problem is you're trying to do 2 things at once. You're trying
Mm-hmm.
to get time sensitive wonders and also mass settle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
because I'm falling behind. I can feel it that it's slipping away
Yeah.
from me. Um,
And that's because you're splitting your attention.
mhm.
Now, you also have luxury you didn't sell. I don't know how long you were sitting on that.
How can you tell? Oh, because right here.
Yeah.
Well, it might be like the beginning of the term. I usually do go through and look at
Okay.
every turn, so I'll do this or something. So
Yeah, no, that's good.
and then
Like,
I'll go here, obviously, and then do one of these and get my gold and buy a settler and whatever else.
yeah, so you can't tell me that you don't have resources. You have 600 gold.
Right now, yeah. I mean, at this turn, yeah. I'm feeling comfortable because bunch of I have one industry here. There's one.
And you can just declare war
I'm
on
going.
Scythia.
See, here was my idea with Pingala
Yeah.
because spices is the 20% boost to culture. right?
Yes.
So I'm thinking, oh, let me put Bengal in there and get
Pull up the
culture.
yields panel.
Oh,
Pull up the
you
yields panel.
total. it's it's not doing well right
Which city is
now.
which city is creating the most culture?
The capital.
Okay, what's 20% of 9?
Wait, hold on. It's growing too. So as we
So
grow,
so world church isn't worth it for 2 culture,
you son of a
but
bitch.
Pingala or 2 plus culture, but Pingala is worth it for 1 plus culture.
I made the mistake. I should have gone with Magnus. God damn it.
But no, but this is what I'm saying
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like pick a plan,
Mm,
good or bad, and go with it.
yeah.
And focus on it, and don't don't uh don't follow it at all costs. But if you're making the decision that okay, I am going to get these wonders, then that's what you're going to accomplish. Now, if Apadana and Oracle disappear, well, then that plan's out the window. That's a bad plan now.
Yeah.
Because why would you worry about anything else? Then you switch to the next thing. But until Apadana and Oracle are gone, that should be your focus if that's what your focus was. Because
I guess
um
wonder investment is the riskiest one, right? Because
yes,
I don't think what else can compare to that because you're investing so much production into something that might just
there is
disappear.
nothing in this game. The closest thing would be levying units.
Mm-hmm.
There is no
Yeah.
other thing in this game that has as much risk for as little reward that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is pretty much you'll get something, but wonders and levying units. Um, but that, but that's this goes back to when I was looking at your one game. I think this is why it's taking you so long to do things, is you're trying to do everything at once, which is fine if you have a start that allows you to do everything at once. But you've said multiple times this is a low population or a low population start, which means you're going to have to pick and choose, which means, okay, I can't afford to lose the population in my capital. So my first 2 governors have to be Magnus after I get the diplomat. As much as I want to do Void Singers, you recognized it's a low population start, but you're still losing population every time you get a settler.
Yep. 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 Yeah. I mean,
Because you don't have your
shish.
government plaza out, do you?
Nope. I don't.
Yeah. So you have to use the information that you're like, because you're making the realizations, like you're doing this, but you have to think, okay, when you look at this and go, oh, this is a low population start, you then, when your governor title comes up, this is a low population start. I need Magnus for the trade route, but if I do Magnus for the trade route, then I can't have a moving Magnus. Well, then I got to do settlers don't cost population if you want to do a moving Magnus.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have to adjust as you go for
Yeah.
sure. So right
But the,
now, you look at this and you're like, you can still finish the game in under 200 pretty easily when you look at it.
you have void singers. Yeah, you're fine.
What would you estimate? Would you finish it in like 160?
Oh, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. It's like 190. Like
Yeah.
your
So at this point, if so, this is where the game is already basically not the game, but I guess the turns are
the
sort of
turns are
decided.
decided.
Mm,
This is like when we were talking the other day, and I said you get the majority of your yields from
hmm.
population, and then at the last moment, I was like, actually, I've been missaying it. The majority of the yields that matter come from population. The problem isn't the number of cities, and this is why I hate 10 cities by 100. The problem is you haven't gotten your culture up
Hmm.
high enough in the early turns for you to recover. You haven't gotten enough science in the early turns for you to recover. Like, what does your science tree look at like right now? That's It's not great, but it's not terrible.
Making my way.
Yeah. But like you should have knowing that the growth is going to be low. Honestly, there's a oh, you don't even have theology yet? Why did you get games and recreation before theology?
Because this was unlocked before it was like boosted or something.
I get
And
that, but I get that.
are you saying
I'm okay. You will very rarely see me unlock a tech or a civic in the early game that isn't boosted. I like games and recreation. Games and recreation and defensive tactics outliers. Like
I think it got boosted by like a village or
yeah.
something.
But here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I'm playing Russia,
Yeah.
and I can't get drama and poetry in time,
Hmm.
that's okay because theology is going to provide me more yields than the lost culture. Like
Yeah, I guess that
no matter how stubborn I want to be, I'm going to go drama and poetry into theology.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you would have doubled, I mean, not exactly, but you would have doubled your production in pretty much every city.
Yeah, that's
And you would have doubled your faith. You would be getting 100 faith per turn. Once again, not exactly, but
yeah, I don't know. I definitely spend turns researching it instead of just
yeah. This is
finish.
like in a Russia game, if you get like a horrible map where you can't find a wonder, you just by the time you get two two scouts, you're building the holy site. You're gonna get astrology pretty early,
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter if I found a wonder or not. I'm researching astrology because this is the most important thing for the Civ.
Right.
Well, if you're going for a work ethic religion with an adjacency bonus, you cue theology, and if you don't get one of the bonuses along the way, that's just the price you pay.
Man, good point.
I mean,
Good
like,
point. Good point. I don't know why I didn't beeline it. There's just there's no.
Because once again, you're
I don't know if I
making
was
these.
drinking or.
I think I remember you saying you were drinking.
No,
but
that was
I
a
don't
different
know.
game.
Oh, was it? But this is what I'm saying. You actually are noticing the things that you're doing wrong when you're not even doing wrong. You're making the right realization. You're just not using that knowledge to make informed decisions.
Yeah, dude.
You know
You know what you're saying is that I don't like go back and think through. Oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. Now that I'm talking to you, yeah,
Yes.
I mean, analyzing what you've done, that kind of settles better, in your brain to be like, all right, next time I'm definitely not gonna
Yeah.
screw that up. So that helps, a lot. I just don't do it, I just
Yeah.
play sometimes.
You'll notice a lot of times, even on really early turns, I'll just stop at the end of a turn and just look at the map for a second, and I'll be like, "Is there anything else I need to do?"
I know
And
that should be your motto. Is there anything I should do?
But like, I have one city, a warrior, and a scout, so there's like nothing I could do. But just for a second, I take a step back and go, "Okay, like what am I doing, and how do I get there?"
I just couldn't believe I barely squeezed it with game modes.
Yeah.
So
Because you got like 198, which shows me like that is basically where I thought that you would win that game. Like when you asked me, I said like 190-ish, and I completely forgot that you actually told me how fast you won this game.
Not be mightier than this.
Yeah, I didn't get a Padana, dude.
But you got 2 Apostle Temple. What are your governor titles right now?
Yeah, someone stole a Padana. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. It's turn 100. What are your governor titles?
Well, I got my chorus.
Yeah, that's you.
And I got my grants because
Okay.
of Oracle, right?
Where's Magnus?
Never got a provision. He's sitting right here. I think we were shopping something. maybe. Oh, planning to chop something next. Maybe I don't know. I don't know why he's there. I don't remember. But there are a bunch of chops.
Which order did you take your governor titles?
Well, I think I got Magnus.
That would be fourth, right?
So this is how it started, right? Amani,
Which is with
then
Sigurd's side,
Pingala.
he's Amani first is the best choice. Yep.
Yeah, then Pingala. I probably put a title. I
Oh
might have hired
no.
Magnus then.
I hope you hired Magnus. I hope you did.
I might have. I don't know. Might have screwed it up.
Because as much as I'm a fan of the Magnus culture and science to population, he's in your capital, which is what, 6 population?
Yeah. But I mean,
Where did your
what are the
government
yields?
plaza?
Culture yields at like 40% now. I mean,
Yeah.
40. You know,
Yeah, no, that's good. But where's your government plaza?
it's over here. Magnus is going to travel there eventually for the trade routes.
At this point, it's
I mean-
pretty irrelevant.
What? Why? It's irrelevant. I mean, I'm still growing. I'm still, expanding, sending settlers everywhere. But this is turn 100. That's I'm going to war with Ethiopia. Try and pillage,
What?
pillage, huh?
Oh, to pillage?
Pillage and just take them out.
How does that go? It doesn't look like you were prepared for that war.
Well, this is just pillaging stage.
Um,
I am building grandmasters right now, so I'm gonna chop it out probably and then overwhelm them.
why?
What?
You know what I'm about to ask you, right?
Mm.
It's on the screen right now. What am I going to ask you? Why is there an encampment?
Here?
Yeah.
So I build the trade district first, right?
Yes.
Right. And
then you use production to build an encampment before you got access to the trade road. And you have a trade road available that you haven't bought with Faith yet.
I'm getting there. I built it, but you see how close it is to the city, right?
Yeah.
It would be nice to put like an archer or a crossbow and just like pew pew and just take it.
You
out.
can't. There's a hill with a woods tile between your encampment and that city, so that actually wouldn't work.
I realized that I put encampment on a flat freaking grass. Because if I put it in the hill, it would have worked. Anyway, so it was a mistake. It was a good plan to be able, because I didn't know if Ethiopia is going to move in. I don't know. And I thought this city is going to be my next space city after capital, and encampment will be there in any case. Building any other district here is kind of useless, to be honest.
Not really.
I mean, Lavra is not going to do anything. There's no adjacency.
What kind of game are you playing?
Science.
Okay. You build campus and do campus research grants.
I have plenty of campus. Oh. I don't have campuses yet.
You're not earning any great scientist points. You could be earning great scientist points instead of great general points.
Yeah.
Like this.
I mean, when you earn great scientist, how you compete with a great scientist here with one campus? It's like, I don't know. I see your point, but I'm going to war. I don't know. I wanted some protection just in case. I don't know. Anyway.
Every once in a while, I like to just stop talking when you're trying to like defend yourself.
I'm trying to validate my decisions.
You just. Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, I spend a lot of faith buying Wonder Engineers and stuff because I'm
Okay.
starting with some crappy ones.
All right.
Well, actually,
I like how you have
the
the best wonder, or the best non-wonder engineer showing when you say, "Oh, there's some crappy ones."
this is the best one.
Best non-wonder one.
Yeah, no, it started with James, with the wolf guy.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
ugly.
yeah. But next one
That
was Emotap, so that kind of worked out.
Yeah. No, that wonder one, or the wall one first, is a bad one. But no, buy that one, the printing Eureka plus a free district, especially in a low population spot, gets you a district that doesn't cost population.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I'd say that's the best governor, or best great person.
Yeah,
Can't
for
think of,
sure.
I can't think of how that would help your game out at all.
No. I totally agree. With Mausoleum, you can actually boost it by two or use them in a different city as well, right?
Yeah.
So that works. Um, but yeah,
What's your religion now?
I guess I understand the.
No, that's perfect.
What
Why, like, that other apostle, I'm assuming you sent out to go flip some cities.
this guy?
Oh, he's still alive.
He's
Oh, he's a
got.
debater. Oh, perfect.
He's a
Even
debater,
better.
so I'm trying to find somebody.
Yeah. That's actually even better. No, I like that.
And I haven't seen any of freaking Ethiopian religious units, which is weird.
I also want to point out that is like a perfect, like what you just said is perfect. So it's turn 100.
Mm.
You have an apostle with the debater promotion.
Yeah.
You have Ethiopia, who is an incredibly aggressive religious civ. In my opinion, probably the most aggressive religious civ.
Right. Right.
Like, and you just said he's created no religious units, right?
Right.
This is why I don't like things like Yervon. This is why I don't like things like going Yervon for the martyrdom promotion to get relics, because it's turn 100. You have the best case scenario for a strategy like that,
Uh-huh.
and the RNG just wasn't in your favor. Not saying that's what you did, but this is why I don't like those types of strategies.
I hear you. Yeah.
Just it's came up a couple of times lately, and like I just laughed because, of course, the very first game that I look at is like the perfect, like, oh,
proof.
yeah, I have Ethiopia and there's no units around.
Yeah, that's the proof. The living
Yeah,
proof of it.
and this is what I always go back to, is go for the guaranteed thing. Because if you bet on the thing that's going to happen, and reduce the number of things that could possibly not happen. So you want to go wonders, so you drop everything else to go and get wonders, because faith buying settlers will always be there. But those wonders might disappear, and that's part of your strategy. So that's the priority. And as you're getting those wonders, you will probably still be able to get some faith bought settlers, because you only need 3 or 4 builders. After you've spent that 400 faith, you can start buying settlers. You only need 4. They have 3 charges each.
Yeah.
But like, and I feel like I'm just harping on the same things, but this is like order the things that you need to complete, and what needs to happen for me to complete it. Is that time sensitive? And then address the problems that need to be done the soonest. Because the other thing, a lot of the cities you're settling, well, actually, most of your cities are actually much better growth than your capital. So I was going to say something else, but I'm going to take it back. But what I was going to say is, in most cases, settling cities isn't helping if you don't have a trade route or something for them. So even delaying the cities a few turns, that city will catch up to where it would have been if you get that commercial hub a little bit sooner, if you have a trade route waiting for it, if so line your stuff up
You
to
would
be prepared for the
save.
next step.
When it comes to trade routes,
Yep.
your strategy is to
My goal is
send
to have a
the.
trade route available for the city when I settle it. It doesn't always work that way, but that's my dream goal. Yes.
Hmm. So you would actually like not use a trade route, just let it sit there for a couple of turns until you settle a city.
Correct.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
Unless I'm going to have another trade route done
Right.
very
Right.
soon.
Right. 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 Of course.
But if I'm building my last market and I have a settler going out and that trade route's going to sit there for 5 turns, that trade route's going to sit there for 5 turns. But if I'm like got 2 more markets being built and I've got 1 settler going, well, I guess I'm doubling up in the capital. I guess I'm doubling up in the government plaza city because I'm going to keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
If that makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
But that's also why you'll see me buy my markets a lot of times. Is I mean, trade routes are massive. They hold their value better than anything in game that I can think of. They're available super early, and like they're just so incredibly strong. They really are.
Yeah, that's the one thing I need to keep track of. Build a commercial hub here, no market. Don't know why. I have
Well,
gold.
because it's your government plaza city. It's not a good government plaza city, but I understand why you put it there. It has most of what you need.
I thought it would
Because
grow, but it kind of, yeah, I don't know.
well, no, it's your higher population city, but it doesn't have enough production.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the government's ideal government plaza city should have decent growth and decent production.
Yes, it need like your government plaza city needs everything,
Yeah.
and like I say it all the time. Best case scenario is government plaza in the second or third city. The reality is you're probably not going to find that second or third city that's going to have good growth or good production.
Yeah.
Our good growth and good production. It's just such a rarity, and seeing as your capital gets all sorts of extra bonuses, it's just better in there if the opportunity presents itself. Like Russia, a second city government plaza happens more times than not because of the
Slow growth.
dance of the aurora.
Oh. Oh, because it's easier. which I
Yeah,
did,
because
which I
then you
didn't
yourself
use. But see,
yeah,
that's
what the
like
heck?
yeah, because that's like a double-edged sword, right? You need your first. They grow slower
Yep.
with Lavras in the tundra. So you have your Lavra first, then your second district. You want your trade district. But so you're saying sometimes you would just go to the government plaza first.
On a city, yes.
Hmm.
But here's what I am going to say. Um,
I could have built it in Moscow. I guess that was yeah.
and here's what I'm going to say. When you like, and I hate to go back to the very first part, but when you said this is a low population start, when I was exploring and I saw the reality of this, Magnus would never left the capital. This would have been a trade route Magnus with also settlers don't cost population. And he would have never left the capital for the majority of the game because there's not enough production anywhere. I would have probably settled right around where your Moscow is. And depending on, I don't remember what it looked like before, but I don't think I would have thought that would have had enough growth to get me the districts possible, where I would have just sacrificed the capital in hopes of getting the great engineer that's up right now to get me some districts and just bit the bullet and made the capital the trade route to grow my other cities faster.
Hmm.
Because your capital doesn't need a commercial hub. It's nice if it has it, but getting your government plaza out as late as you did is not good.
Yeah.
You're not getting your value on your early trade routes. Um, it's
Yeah.
just not good. Like you like
Hmm.
and like I feel like every because like I said from 60 to now you're advancing, right? You're like you've got the mid and end game. It's that early game where you have to like look at the map and make the decision of okay, now with the information I've been presented, how do I advance this?
Yeah. It's the early game. Man,
Yeah,
I might just play my game 0 to 100. No, 0 to 60 actually. I don't need 100. It's 0 to 60, right? Like or 70, let's
yeah,
say. That really.
because realistically the early game is like the most important because you have to decide your governor titles which are vital. This is like the perfect example of how think of how this game
Yeah.
would have changed if
Yeah.
you would have went diplomat, Magnus,
Magnus.
double Magnus for settlers don't cost population, a third Magnus for the trade route bonus. All your other cities can grow. That would have allowed you to settle more tundra cities, which would be giving you a whole lot more faith right now. But you didn't settle tundra cities, and I don't blame you because you didn't have any growth.
Hmm.
And I'm sure that's why you didn't settle tundra cities that could utilize Dance of Auroras. You're like, well, how am I going to get any population?
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't planning on settling Tundra until later because I still had some options on the border.
Yeah, and
Um,
this is
but
like
this guy is going up there. But yeah, yeah, I see your point. What you just described is an actual like plan,
yeah.
which probably would have shaved like 20 turns.
Yeah. Well, and it goes back to like when you say, "Well, things just happen for you," and then I go, "Well,
I make things
yeah,
happen. Yeah,
I won't deny the fact that things happen." I have left a lot of games lately when the AI just moves unguarded settlers into me,
I
and it's
know.
like, why would you do that? That makes no sense. But what I will say is, well, I've levied units and I've moved them in every direction. And you can look at the map, and there's not much not uncovered. I have been, I have been moving stuff to increase the possibility of stuff happening as best as I can. I'm doing this. And if you look at the governor play, I am increasing the possibility to have as much production gold and faith as possible, so I can capitalize on these opportunities. And that's where it's like those early decisions set up your entire game. A mistake in the first 20, 30 turns isn't, oh, well, I guess that cost me a few turns. No, it like has ruined your game. Like it legitimately has ruined your game. And that's why like sometimes something will happen on like turn 20 and I'll just sort of stop and be like, well, I'm sort of upset about that. But in my head, I've just witnessed like 30 turns like added on to the end of my game. Like
Yeah,
and like I don't want to like lose my mind because I don't want people to think I'm crazy. But I literally just like a simple misclick and I'm like, oh, really not happy about that misclick. Well, you know, that ripple effect is huge in those early turns.
for sure, for sure. Well, listen, this was awesome. I really appreciate it because it's only after having the conversation like that like I said, things uh, I retain things.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like I need to play another one. And you know what? You know what? If you can get me that peaceful Russia save that you have,
Yeah,
um,
I got it buried away somewhere.
yeah,
I'll
if you
because
get
I
to
can
it,
get the seed and make it.
yeah. Thanks,
Do you
Soger. I
want me to
really
put it on
appreciate it,
print? Do
man.
you want me to put it on Prince difficulty?